And welcome back to Law Call. We're taking your calls live on the air, 850-392-1544, 850-392-1544. If you don't want to go on the air and you want to shoot us an email, it's LawCall, LAWCALL, at WMBB.com, LawCall at WMBB.com. Brian, we're going to talk about uninsured motorists. Last week, and I don't know why it just hit us so hard last week, we had several major accidents that came into our law office. And the party that caused the accident had no insurance.
Which is 1 in 4 people in Florida.
Right. Then we start looking at our clients' own insurance, and lo and behold, they had waived uninsured motorist coverage. What is uninsured motorist coverage and why is it important?
So how I explain it to all of my clients is basically, we call it coverage. It's uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. It kicks in when the at-fault party doesn't have sufficient bodily injury coverage or doesn't have any bodily injury coverage. It basically takes the place of the insurance they could have had. So the biggest thing in Florida, which has been like this since I've been an attorney, which is more than a decade now, which ages myself a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. My man.
But in Florida, we are not required to carry bodily injury insurance. So if I'm driving around and I go cause an accident, you do not know if I have bodily injury coverage to compensate you if somebody's injured in your vehicle, if it's you, your kids, your husband, whatever. So coverage, or underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage, kicks in the event that the person who hits you doesn't have that coverage. And the thing that we tell all of our clients, and one of our paralegals resolved her case recently, retired paralegal, after she started working at Perry & Young, she changed her insurance coverage, and she was going through an intersection and somebody ran a red light and hit her. It was a very, very bad car wreck, but she decided to get uninsured motorist coverage because we told her about it. She did not know about it, but instead of getting $0, she did get a pretty substantial sum. But it's some of the cheapest coverage. That's the big thing, because most people are worried about their premiums, understandably so. But if you're paying for every other coverage, it's worth the $18 more, $15 more a month to make sure if somebody else is negligent, you're taken care of. And you don't need $1 million case. A lot of my clients think, hey, I know this is a small case, and we handle cases that are $2,000 or multi-million-dollar cases. But that coverage, unless somebody from a very big company hits you, you don't know what their insurance is.
Yeah. And
it can be a game changer from our perspective to help our clients out. Right. Luckily, all of my friends and family have been given the spiel for me because it doesn't cost that much. And you're hedging risk because so many people don't have insurance here.
So Brian mentioned something to you that in the state of Florida, we're seeing this creep up in Alabama and in Georgia as well. At least in the state of Florida, 1 in 4 drivers does not carry the bodily injury coverage. That's if they hit you or somebody else is at fault, that they would provide the bare minimum. They don't have it.
They're not required to have it.
And they're not required under current Florida law. It's been the law since 1969. Come on, Governor DeSantis. Yes, sir, I'm calling you out. I probably shouldn't, but dang it, we've been trying to change this thing for years and decades. Now's the time to do it. Protect our clients. Then you have the uninsured motorist coverage, and we always recommend that you get uninsured motorist that is called stacking coverage. Stacked coverage. The reason why you stack it is you get to add your policies together, and again, if you sustain something that is more severe, you're going to need all of those stacked coverages, all those policies added together within your home, within your household, that you're able to put that together. And the stacked coverage versus the non-stacked coverage is literally like $5 or $10 a month difference. And I know people, times are tough and we're kind of cutting corners on everything, but that also means that the people who weren't carrying the bodily injury coverage before, there's going to be more of them, and more likely that you're going to have an accident involving either an uninsured or an underinsured motorist. Alabama, Georgia, we've seen those numbers go up. Now in Alabama and Georgia, they have mandatory bodily injury coverage, and that includes mandatory coverage for somebody who's had a DUI or a serious automobile accident. They can get a special type of coverage for them, and for them it's a little bit lower because the rates are so high if you have a DUI or severe reckless driving with bodily injury in both those states. But again, we recommend strongly that you get uninsured motorist stacking, and if you need some explanation of that, sit down with your insurance agent. Get Flow on the line. Talk with the Gecko. I mean, talk with somebody. Don't do it yourself, just plugging it in. Because when you plug it in on your phone or you're plugging it in a computer, they're going to give you the cheapest
I was about to
coverage
say,
possible.
that is the one thing. I did change insurances for a specific reason. But basically, if you have a local agent, I'm not knocking, like Geico does a pretty good job. But if you have questions, there are so many local agents who know what your budget is and plus what you need to protect against. It is worth, I mean, I sat down with, I'm not going to say who it was, but I sat down with a buddy of mine for 20 minutes and we got everything figured out and he was top notch and it is worth it. And you hope you never need insurance. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
But the one time you need insurance and you don't have it, it becomes a problem.
And if you don't have it when the incident occurs, you can't go back and get it.
Which is a very common thing. Most of my clients, after their vehicle's totaled, they say, hey, do I have to keep paying my premium? And I say, no, you can cancel it, or you got to let your insurance company know you're getting a new vehicle, whatever it is.
Right.